All right, we're back and we're good to go. Mike got to meet the sweetheart of the show today. I'm quite excited to hear his thoughts on her, so let's do it.
Okay, this episode is what exactly is a human? Team Gurren managed to take control of the enemy fortress, but everyone is still mourning Kamina's death, including myself and Simon. After falling off a cliff, he notices a gunman threw a capsule into a deep valley. Simon inspects it and finds he's able to open it with the same drill key he used to pilot Lagann. And inside is a young human girl named Nia, but her introduction is cut short when a horse-faced gunman appears. Okay, just to get this out of the way, Nia, the sweetheart of the show, is in fact voiced by Hynden Walsh, who most people will know as the voice of Starfire from Teen Titans. And that already just kind of informs the character.
Yep, especially in the way that she talks.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. It's quite great. She's such a sweetheart. She's also one of the most impossible cosplays ever.
Yeah, because her costume is so like elaborate.
And those you can't get contacts to do what she has.
Yep.
Anyways, go ahead.
So if you know anything about the actress who plays Nia, and if you're well familiar with Teen Titans, then her introduction might be a little distracting at first, because when you listen to her dialogue, it's Starfire. It just is.
It is.
But she's introduced at kind of the perfect time for Simone. And just fair warning, I'll be calling the next couple episodes the Simone get your shit together arc.
That's a very good way to put it. Oh yeah. You picked it. I've said this before. You picked a really good time to put this to watching 3 episodes at a time, because you nailed it right on timing.
I figured after the fallout of episode 8 that it would take a couple episodes for Simone to find his groove. Now, in this episode, he hasn't found his groove yet. Mm-hmm. In fact, he's kind of flown off the handle when we first see him. You know, he's not really being a team player. He's kind of learning the wrong lessons from Kamina. Going into battle reckless, not thinking about his own safety, diving in without a plan. It's not healthy. Not healthy at all. But I really do think that everything starts to change for the better once he opens that box.
Oh yeah. Did you notice how they showed that off, that the sun literally came out after he got to meet Nia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. It was a very on the nose moment, but it was like, yeah, the light of your life just showed up, and you're about to realize that very quickly.
Yeah, but, one thing I love, but can also easily make fun of, is how unsubtle the show's use of color is. Like when things get grave and serious, they won't just like wash out the colors. In a lot of this episode, it's raining, and the rain doesn't stop.
Yep. And they even mentioned that. I believe it's Dayaka that mentions it while he's eating with Yoko. Just like this rain, never stops, huh? Doesn't.
It's like they know what show this is. They know what genre they're in.
Exactly. So, one thing I have to ask you before you get too much farther on, you finally got to meet the big bad of the show in this episode, and the person who only Nia pronounces his name the way I think his name should be pronounced, Lord Genome, but everyone else in the show calls him Lord Genome like it's one word, and I hate it.
Okay, I see what you mean now. Because like Lord Genome.
No, it should just be Lord Genome. It makes sense literally and how it's spelled. That's just two words that they're like no space. And like I was saying before, how you'll between him and Viral, it's kind of like you're gonna notice they talk about moving forward DNA quite a bit. You've got a character named Lord Genome and a character that's spelled viral but pronounced viral. You're gonna notice that as a trend a little bit with some things moving forward, but you got to meet essentially the big bads of this first chunk of the show. How did you feel about all of that, I guess?
Genome is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to body shame anyone, no matter how villainous he may
be. That's amazing.
But still, as a big bad, he fits the bill quite nicely.
Yeah, you like how we even had a different drawing style.
Yeah, he's completely out of this world. Mm-hmm. But they make it clear that he's the guy in charge. Mm-hmm. And he's so evil he'll cast out his own daughter? ?
Yeah, big question mark. Big question mark that gets answered later, but big old question mark for right now. Yeah.
I also like the rest of the generals. They all have distinct personalities. Also, Viral's there.
Yes, of course. You're still happy. Viral's still staying around. You got Cetomonder, Gom, and Adine. And they all have their own names that they kind of just have to have, because they're going to be honest, in their fights, they really don't match that much, like other than Gom's a little bit, because Adine sure as hell ain't elegant. And Cetomandre, like, you don't get to see a little bit of him for a while, but I wouldn't exactly consider him swift. But that's just me. Everyone has to have their own nickname when you're a villain to make yourself seem cool. But
yeah, the nicknames seem very self-proclaimed.
Yes, that is very true. Before we get too far, because I know I'm going to forget to mention this, you also got to meet, like, I think it's my favorite ongoing joke in the entire show. And the favorite ongoing joke is a single character, and his name is Attenborough, and it's the fire all the guns, fire them now. Every time. Attenborough is amazing. That's his entire shtick. It never changes. He never gets anything else. That's all he ever is.
I kind of love that. Like, not every character needs to have like this deep, like three-dimensional tragic backstory. Everything. Some characters are just comic relief.
They are. He's great, and he's another random. I voiced 16 people in Digimon voice as well. But then again, almost everyone has done a backup voice in that. But one detail I want to talk about before I let you go full blazes is something that not a lot of people think about until something big happens with a certain character later on that really digs us in, is that the Beastmen mentioned that Lord Genome has literally made all of them.
Yeah, that's where I have a lot of questions. Questions like, well, first, we still don't really know much about Genome. Like, is he a Beastman? Is he a human? How is he creating these people? How do you create Nia?
Yes, multiples before Nia as well. Yeah, it's
but I like that kind of air of mystery right now. because really all we know about Genome right now is that he's the big bad and we have to stop him.
Exactly. And you don't need a whole lot more than that because you got an evil looking dude. You don't get to, like, once you finally really get to see him, like when he's like, spoilers, when the people get to meet him and you get to see him next to them, like, it was, you stood at a marketing meeting and you're like, what does an evil person in an anime look like? That, him. And yeah, he just got all the bullet points, but yeah, Genome's present. That's one thing that I really liked about him right away. He had a real presence about him. Like, he doesn't move from that chair. Like, all the people, he kind of has like a Thanos bit to him for a little bit where everyone's just like, I don't want to have to get involved. I don't want to embarrass them. So I'm going to let you all do it. And it's just, it's too busy to deal with you peasants type of deal. But yeah, he's great. So as you're going to learn moving forward, like, did you watch the new intro?
I did.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead.
Is this like the first new intro since the beginning?
Yeah, it changes here because Nia is obviously not a replacement, but she's the character that is now basically the other part of the main trio. And then, like, adding all that in, and then it changes again, I think only one last time when this technical season is over to set up stuff with the next season, like to show you what they're going to run through, because you got to see Viral, I think, in the very beginning, in the very first one. So you got to meet people that weren't quite there yet. That this, like I said, it just changes to show you stuff that's going to come, but be incredibly vague about it. But yeah, it's you've got our new formed trio for now, but like you said, they're not all having their shit together. And I have to keep thinking now, especially with this one, it was going to be really bad. I had to remember when episodes ended to remember what happened in them, because not a lot, I want to say location-wise, changes. So it's real easy to get them mixed up. So I think, unless
don't
you got
worry, I got you covered.
Okay, I appreciate that. Because it's ingrained in my head as one total thing. But
I mean,
yeah.
to be fair, like if this were like one of those, like if this was like one of those like anime films that that like usually you see in like the Dragon Ball franchise, this could be like one of those full 60-minute features.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just
like
fill out a little bit with conversations.
Yeah. So essentially the first act ends when Adine comes bursting in with the waves and everything.
Yes.
And the episode ends with Nia being like, stop, I'm the princess and you have to do what I say.
Yes. Oh, the princess, which we'll talk about in the next episode, because technically that's when that revelation comes through. But all right, as we're going, again, I have to ask, of this episode, of this little 3-episode arc, would you change anything?
I think from a writing perspective, like from the dialogue, I would make Simone a little less whiny.
Okay.
I mean, I get it. I get it in universe because, you know, Kamino is everything to him. So it, like in universe, I would give him some time to grieve. Like even 1 week isn't enough for someone who's like been your entire life.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just it's literally just like the dialogue. I wish he was a little less unlikable, because he kind of turns into a monster to people who really don't deserve it.
Yep. Yeah, that was
although
go ahead.
I really don't like Kitan in the Simone get your shit together arc.
Yeah.
He's the one more so than Simone who I'm like, I want to punch him so bad.
Oh yeah. This is one of the episodes where I said they kind of write it to make you feel how people in the show feel. People in this and people in the show currently are like really effing fed up with Simone, and you'll feel that more in the next episode than such. And like you said, this very much, in my opinion, you are very much right. Like where you want to punch Keaton, they in my opinion do a really good job of. There's a good reason why Kamina was like, you're not getting any more responsibilities than what you're supposed to have because you can't do it. Oh boy, can you not do it? But anyway, that's getting into the third episode of this arc that we are not quite there yet. So, all right, everybody, thank you very much for keeping tuning in. Mike, where can they reach you?
You guys can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Captain K42. Check out all my quick thought reviews on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. Don't forget to check out Renegade Pop Culture on Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Look for us in all the various podcast places like Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher. Last but not least, don't forget to check out renegadepopculture.com, where you'll find this and all other podcasts. Need an escape? So do we.
Yes. Especially do I, because it's the middle of October, and because of Wisconsin, I already have snow outside. Oh,
don't say that word.
Not
to a New Yorker.
Not happy. You and me are in the same boat, buddy. All right, you can reach me at literally everywhere at Organoid Zero, Twitch, at Twitter, basically everything but Instagram. Don't really ever find a point in me ever having an Instagram, but some people like it. I just don't use it. You can find me there at all those places, mostly Twitch, though. And then this YouTube channel, which you'd already be at if you're not watching it live. Thank you very much, everybody. Spin on, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.